Hello, and welcome to Liberate Your Life podcast, a place where we come together and explore Ayurvedic wisdom, holistic healing, and spirituality, empowering individuals to explore their true nature and transform their life. I'm your host, Melinda Reese, Ayurvedic practitioner, Panchakarma specialist, and founder of Tahoe Ayurveda. And I am here to help you transform your life. Welcome to episode 27, Self-Care Practices for Self-Love. In this episode, I explore the Ayurvedic self-care practices, specifically oral care in the morning, dry brushing, and oil massage, as well as a bedtime routine. Ayurveda is really focused on our daily routine for self-care, understanding who we are and how to best support our system. And we have a morning routine, we have a daily routine, we have a nightly routine, we have seasonal routines. So everything is on these beautiful routines so that we can really anchor into these foundational pieces to really help set the tone for our daily experience, really tend to our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, and open up to our spiritual body. And that as a holistic being, we can move out into the world with more ease and grace. So let's start with our morning routine, Rise and Shine with Ayurveda. So Ayurveda really looks at each morning and each moment as a new beginning. So before we get out of bed and before we reach for our phone, really giving a moment to acknowledge this fresh new start of a new day. We are different. There's nothing the same. And how do we want to rise and prepare for this next moment of this beautiful life and opportunity to explore it in all its dimensions? So in the morning, before we get out of bed, it's really offering up a prayer, a mantra, a gratitude prayer for that potent time of new beginnings and the new you, and to really recognize the potency of that. And then when we get out of bed, there's these morning routines that we really focus on for our oral care before we really invite any liquids or any food into our system. We really want to cleanse and purify our oral, our mouth, and we're really this hollow tube from mouth to anus. So we really want to make sure that that is cleansed and purified before we invite more substance into our body that day. And that also helps to ignite a bowel movement in the morning. So we're looking at brushing our teeth, tongue scraping, oil pulling, and then warm water and lemon. And some people will tongue scrape before brushing their teeth, but I start in the morning when I get up. I go to brush my teeth. And we all know what brushing our teeth does. That's pretty known to all people. And this bad breath is not like a normal thing. We should have night breath from waking up. But if there's a really foul smell in our breath, it's really a sign of something, some imbalance and aggravation that is deeper into the system. So we really want to be mindful of like, what is our mouth telling us? What is our breath telling us? And then we go into what is our tongue telling us? So brush your teeth. And then we're going to tongue scrape. And tongue scraping is traditionally done with a copper metal tongue scraper. It's shaped in a U. It has these two handles. And we set that in the back of our tongue and we pull through. I do it 3 times. And you can really see there's a film on the tongue. And that film is really telling us, is there too much cold in the system? Is there too much heat in the system? Is there too much buildup and toxicity? Is there something going on in the lungs? Is there something out of balance in the digestive system? And as Ayurvedic practitioners and as acupuncturists, we're trained to look at the tongue as a diagnosis tool for what's going on inside the body. There's a whole imprint of the digestive system, of the lungs and the heart. So that really can start really cultivating an awareness of what's going on in the tongue. And if you get super excited about it, you can look up and see what the different tongue coats are going to tell you. But we really want to clear that out. And what that is that helps to stimulate the digestive organs. So before we eat anything, it really gets them activated. It helps to clear any of that stuff that has risen through the night that the body is pushing out. So any like toxins, bacteria on the tongue, and really help to clear that that film out. But it's really up to us to do more things to really purify and cleanse our system and get some of that toxic buildup that's deeper in the system. The tongue is just showing that there is that in the system, right? So it's an imprint of our inside. So we want to cleanse and purify that. And we don't want to just flush that down with our warm water back into our system and have our body have to expel that again. And then the oil pulling. So oil pulling is done really to lubricate the tissues in the mouth, right? So we're looking at our gums, we're looking at our teeth. It helps to pull the toxins out as well. And then we spit and release that. So we're just Ayurveda is about oilination, oilination, oilination. We have oil for the ears, the nose, the eyes, the mouth. We have it for the body. We have it for the yoni and for the rectum and enemas. So we really are like, we need to lubricate the tissues for longevity, vitality, cleansing, and purification. So with oil pulling, it's traditionally done with sesame oil. If you don't have sesame oil, you can use coconut oil, but traditionally sesame oil, and you want a organic pure sesame oil, not the toasted sesame oil that we cook with. And then you're going to do just a small amount that you can really easily swish it around. And so after your tongue scraping, you're going to put the oil in your mouth. And usually when I have the oil in my mouth, I'm already preparing my warm water and lemon, because you're going to swish it around for, I do 3 to 5 minutes. They say more 10 minutes. But again, some is better than none. So just work with it, get used to it, feel how it's really pulling out those toxins and really cleansing and purifying the oral, the mouth. And then when you're done, you spit it out in the trash. Don't spit it in your sink. So that's the oil pulling. And then you have your warm water and lemon. And the warm water and lemon really helps to create an alkaline system in the body. It helps to cleanse and purify and flush, and it helps to also stimulate a bowel movement. So oral care in the morning, these routines, when you wake up in the morning, give gratitude to a new day. You're going to brush your teeth, tongue scrape, oil pull, warm water, and lemon. It does not take a lot of time. That's like basically a setup of about from start to finish. You could have it done in 10 minutes. And that's really acknowledging like the mouth. We're really looking at the sensory, right? How do we experience the world? And so we want to cleanse and purify the mouth. There's also cleansing purifications for the eyes, for the nose, for the ears, and I'll go into that in another podcast. So that is the morning routine for oral care. And now we can move on to 2 other practices, dry brushing or self-oil warm massage. And those are traditionally done in the morning, but if you don't have time to do them in the morning, and you can do them in the evening for a night routine. So dry brushing is, you want to get a dry brush. They're available online, or lots of health food stores carry them. You want one with a long handle so you can really reach your back. And then they often have a strap on the place with the bristles so that you can just put it on your hand and really work some of the areas from that angle. So dry brushing is really good for exfoliating the skin, moving the lymph, really stimulating the tissues. And you want to work with both oiling and dry brushing from the peripheral to the core. So you're going to start, with your feet and work up your legs to the core. You're going to move to your hands, work up your arms to the core. Then you're going to really work around the breast tissue, men and women. There's lots of lymph nodes there. You want to work on the abdomen. You want to go in a clockwise position. So if you're looking down to your belly button, you want to make sure that you're moving that dry brush in a clockwise position. You want to get up around your hips. You want to get on your buttocks. You want to, with that handle, you want to get your back as well. You want to get all the way up into the clavicle area where there's the lymph drainage. You want to get into the neck area, and then I would just leave the brush and just do a hand massage on the face. And any place where there's thinner tissue, it might be more sensitive, so less hard. And where there's thicker tissue, you can go a bit harder with the bristles. I have a nice bamboo one with like softer bristles. I love doing my dry brush, and that is really stimulating and activating for the lymph. And now moving on to Abhyanga, which is Ayurvedic massage, and it is also part of the daily routine to oilinate our bodies, and that really helps with the skin, longevity, vitality, nourishing the tissues, moving the lymph, the energy, and really harmonizing the body. And it really is addressing vata. So vata, the dosha of ether and air, and that is all connected to the nervous system. So when we put this nice warm oil, we're giving the opposite qualities of vata, so more of a kapha experience for the body, which really helps to balance the nervous system. So again, you want to make sure that it's warm. If it's not warm, just try to not do it. Really take that time to put warm oil. Cold oil on the skin is going to build up more toxins, and they're just going to sit on the skin, versus the heat is going to allow the oil to penetrate deeper into the tissue. So take the time to warm the oil, and you can either put it in a metal or a glass jar and do like a hot water bath. So heat up water on the stove and set it in there and let it heat up. And you don't need a lot, so it's just for like a one body time. You can also get one of those coffee cup warmers that plug in, and they get like a milk steam frother, and you can pour your oil into that metal container and put it right on that coffee warmer, and that goes pretty quick as well. You can also take a small crock pot and put boiling water into that and put that on high and set your glass or metal jar into that. So there's a number of techniques, but again, make sure that that oil is warm. And then you want to again start with the feet, move up to the core. You want to go to the hands and move to the core. You want to work around the breast tissue, the abdomen in a clockwise direction. You want to reach around your hips to your buttocks. You want to go to the best you can on your back, up around your shoulders, neck. You want to go to the clavicle, up through the neck, and then do the face. You can do the head too if you're okay with getting some oil in your hair. And really, the oil massage is so good for all the doshas. If somebody has high kapha, you want to do less oil or really just stay with the dry brushing. And if you're working with an Ayurvedic practitioner, they can really let you know a specific oil to use, and when, and it's good for what dosha and what dosha aggravation or pacifying. So when there's a dosha that's out of balance, as the kapha, you might want less oil or just doing the dry brushing. Self-oil massage in Sanskrit is snehana, which means tremendous love and tenderness. And so it's really this act of being present with our bodies and really celebrating them through this application of oil, and really tending to this beautiful vessel that carries the experience that we know as this life to be, who we are through this body, right? So we get to really love it, adore it, adorn it, oil it, make sure that it has the lubrication it needs to go through these beautiful experiences, and really harmonize the body, connect with it, love it, honor it, be it. And so oil massage is incredible. And so we have dry brushing, we have oil massage. You can do that in the morning, and then you're going to want to shower after both of those before you have breakfast, preferably by 8 a.m. And again, waking up in the morning and allowing time for these morning practices. Once you get into the rhythm of that, you can really see how they really influence your everyday experience. Now we're going to finish up with a nightly routine. So really preparing for the evening is being mindful of what time we go to bed. So we really say to be in bed by 10 p.m. and then up by 6 a.m. And that's an 8-hour stretch. And a lot of people say that they get more energy around 10. We do get energy, but that is really to be used inside. That is the pitta time. So it's really all about assimilation and transformation, but that's really our internal body really doing what it needs to do to detox and de-stress and heal. And we need to be asleep in order for that to happen at its most optimal functioning, versus using that energy to engage in activities still at night. So evening routine is very important, that we shut down screens at least 2 hours before we go to bed. Screens are very stimulating and can really keep the nervous system really plugged in. So we want to eliminate screens. We want to make sure that we're eating our meals and having at least 2 hours to digest before we lay down for optimal digestion. And we can put warm oil on our feet that helps to ground the energy and pull it down to the earth so we can really settle into more the kapha element and be less in our minds in the vata element. So bringing that energy down really earthy so we can lay down and lay these earth bodies down to rest. Meditation, you can do a nice meditation practice to really clear out the day and really drop into that deeper state of silence and stillness. And that really also helps the nervous system to unwind and prepare for sleep. You can do your bath in the evening. Again, so warm water and bathing is going to help calm the nervous system. Drinking some tea, you can do golden milk with nutmeg, which is a natural sedative, milk and ghee, turmeric for the anti-inflammatory, ginger to help digest it, nutmeg for sleeping. So you can do a nice golden milk, and we have a lot of recipes available to us for that. You could also do chamomile tea, but just some kind of routine to really prepare the body for sleep so that it knows how to unwind, it knows how to prepare. And then sleep is so important. It's one of the main pillars of health. So we should not deny ourselves sleep and then just get up in the morning earlier because you've gone to sleep earlier. So it really allows you to have that time for the morning practice. And then in between our morning practice and our evening practice, we want to look at, eating at the same times, making sure that we're moving our bodies, that we're having, whether it's breathwork, meditation, yoga practice, we're showing up and be in service in a work that is fulfilling and purposeful and meaningful, that we find deep joy in, right? So this life is so precious, and it's incredible, and we have the opportunity to implement these daily routines in order to support our system, in order to bring inner happiness, in order to really be vital and healthy in our bodies, really have emotional intelligence, really cleanse and purify the mind, the thoughts, which then influences our emotions, our hormonal balance, our digestion, right? So all these daily practices are really designed to offer this incredible experience to move with more, like I say, ease and grace. So looking at how we get up in the morning, our oral routine, really tending to our physical body, dry brushing, oilination, and then really how do we prepare ourselves for sleep. So I hope that you can incorporate some of these. If you have any questions, please email me or send me a message via Instagram. And thank you for tuning in today for Liberate Your Life podcast, episode 27, Self-Care for Self-Love. These practices are designed to support your overall health and well-being. You can connect with me on Instagram at melindareese.co or Tahoe Ayurveda, or you can head to my website at tahoeayurveda.com and check out my offerings. And there you can also connect with me if you have any questions about any of these self-care practices. Thank you so much and enjoy. Namaste.